Hello, greetings, welcome to Builder Buds. My name is Ronnie. You've landed yourself on my channel, and this is a little feature segment. Feature? It's not a feature. It's a segment. It's a episode. I don't know what it is. It's a place where I like to sit down and kind of do a little bit of a video journal for you guys. I purchased several weeks back this guided journal made by Chad Littlefield and team at Are they called We Connect? I'm not really sure what they're called, but I'll leave a link in the description below if you would like to pick up a journal of your own. I don't get paid to do this, none of the sort. I like the journal, and I like the products that he puts out in the world, and there you go. This episode is going to be a little bit different because I didn't feel like I had a whole lot of meat on the bones for the topic this week, because I feel like I really covered what the topic this week is last week. The topic this week was, does your statement include the what? Is the why clear? And that's going back to my intentionality statement. And I feel like last week I really covered that in depth. So I thought that this would be a good opportunity to go off the rails a little bit and to talk about a couple of subjects, maybe, depending upon how long I go here, that have been on my mind here lately and that I thought would be probably good things to address, to talk about. In case Becca James Williams are watching this in the future and you're wondering, hey, I wonder what my dad thinks about religion. I wonder what my dad thinks about space. So those are the two topics that I've kind of outlined here, and maybe I'll do both of them depending upon how long it takes me to get through religion, but I'm definitely going to start talking about religion. Woo! It's a big topic. This is my video journal, so I just want it to be all about the thoughts that are rumbling around in my brain in real time. And like I said, this is really meant for my son to watch in the future, so that he can kind of get a better understanding of who his dad is, hopefully not was, but maybe, if I pass away, he knows what his dear old dad thinks about religion. And here's what I think about religion. Kind of a scary topic to talk about, because it does divide people. It's a very divisive topic, which is kind of an oxymoron, because I feel like religion should be the opposite of that. It should be something that brings people together, right? But I think that, throughout time, people have used religion to pass along whatever biases and things that they wanted to do within their own lives, within their own societies. And that, to me, is definitely one of the bad parts about religion. There are a lot of great aspects of religion. Having a community of people together that believe in a particular way. There's a lot of power in that. There's power in the gathering of people. And especially whenever those people are doing things that are for the good. But of course, there are examples of people that are gathering for religious purposes of doing things that are maybe not so wholesome, not so good in the world. So I have basically two big issues fundamentally with religion. Growing up, I went to church, I would say probably from around age 11 to 16. I was raised in, I think it was like a Baptist-ish. It was non-denominational, but it skewed more towards Baptist views, so Christianity. Had good experiences for the most part. The people were welcoming, wholesome, really nice. We would get together several times a week. There was always food involved in that. Some of the uglier parts of religion started to rear their heads, and that comes in the form of, individuals just kind of feeling like they're holier than thou, and casting judgments and opinions, and really not really living up to the teachings of what a good Christian should be, which should be a person that is just kind of taking care of themselves, but are, like doing good things and putting good things out into the world. So there was definitely, I saw the good and the bad of that. Stopped going to church probably around age 17 or 18, kind of whenever I got to the age of forming my own opinions and telling my parents that I just wasn't going to go. I think that probably at that time I didn't want to go to church because I didn't want to get up early on a Sunday, which is a really, really bad reason to not go to church. But I think that was the reason. But, now that we've fast forwarded and I'm 37 years old today, I've had some life experiences. I have started to formulate different opinions about religion. And I thought it would be interesting to kind of sit down and share those with you. Now, first and foremost, whatever it is that you believe in, I respect you for that. Believe in that. My big thing is just be a good person, right? Put good things out into the world. You do you. That's totally cool. And I'm not going to try and talk you into religion or out of religion. Again, this is just my own opinion about it, having 37 years on this earth. Hopefully I will have another 37 years, and you know what? My opinion might change again, because that's life. It's a journey, and as we grow, as we age, as we experience different things, we are welcome to have free will and to have opinions that change. So, who knows? Maybe in another couple of years I'll be sitting down and I'll have some different views to share with you. But as of right now, this is kind of how I feel. And I've got two big fundamental issues with religion that really keeps me from getting into it full bore and being like, hooray, religion. So first of all, I believe that people are born the way that they are. So if they're born gay, they're gay. I don't think that it's a choice, that nobody is born straight and then at some point in their life chooses to switch teams, so to speak. I don't believe that. I think that you are born with those things ingrained in you, and that's just kind of who you are. Furthermore, I'm glad that I wrote this stuff down, because whenever you get in front of the camera, and especially if it's like a controversial subject, you want to make sure that you've got your words kind of sorted out. So things like if things like sexual preference are forbidden via religion, and those things buy you a ticket to hell, what kind of a God would do that, right? So if I believe that somebody comes into this earth born as a gay person, what kind of God would put that person on this earth as a gay person, but also fundamentally teach people that because of their sexual preference, they are doomed to an eternity of hellfire and torture? I've got issues with that, because what kind of entity would do that? I don't think that that doesn't make any sense at all to me. And I think that the argument that people are going to have is that, well, people aren't born gay. And I guess my thought on that is, why would anybody choose to be gay? Now, let me say, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being gay. I've got no problem with that at all, right? But it's a life that people are choosing. If that's something that, as people, if they say that they're choosing it, I don't know that a person would choose that, because it's a difficult life. Still in our society today, there are so many people that try to tear those people down and tell them that they're going to hell because of their choice, right? And so I don't think that anybody would be born and choose to be gay. I think that you're born and you're either gay or straight or bisexual or whatever else you are. I think that that's just kind of the way that it is. Those are my views. Take them as you will. I don't want to offend anybody. I hope that I'm not offending anybody. I just want to get those thoughts kind of out there. My other issue with religion, there are so many different religions, and they all claim to be the only way to heaven. So imagine that you're an American, and you're born in America, where you are free to choose whatever religion you want. But maybe you're born in a more southern territory, an Alabama or a Mississippi, for example, which are predominantly Christian states. You're born there, you're raised with, this is the only way to God, but then you die and you find out, oops, actually the way to heaven was actually by being a Buddhist, right? And because of where you were born, you were never able to be taught any of those things, and so you're doomed to an eternity of hell just by a roll of the dice, and you're in an area where Christianity was the only option. Or I I just don't understand that. So are you doomed to hell because you were born and raised where they only teach, insert religion here, that principle? like again, like what kind of God? I think there's like 1 billion Muslims in the world. What kind of God would allow a religion to rise to the point where there's 1 billion people in it, not provide any concrete proof of the God's existence, right? And that there's only one way to heaven, so Christianity. Why? And it's all based on faith. You got to have faith. Well, if you're born in a place where you never learned about insert religion name here, how is that an equal playing field? Like, what kind of God would do that? If it were me, if I were God, I would make sure that there's some kind of proof out there, so that a child that is born and raised in a Christian family knows that, hey, this probably isn't the way you want to go, that Muslim is the way you want to go, because that's actually the true way, the true path to enlightenment, to enrichment, to a fulfilling life, and ultimately to divinity, right? So, yeah, a couple issues I've always wrestled with there. And I've never really gotten some great answers on those. I don't know if there are. Like, that's just the thing. There aren't any solid, concrete answers. None of us know, right? None of us know what's going to happen after we die. Would love to hear anybody that wants to chime in on the comments and provide their feedback, their perspective. Once again, this is a place of welcoming. I welcome all perspectives. I welcome all people. I love everybody. I love everyone. I don't want to start any fights. I don't want to start any debates. Whatever it is that you believe, God love you. I respect you for that. These are just my thoughts. And then a third one that I'm just going to throw out there: childhood cancer. What the bleep is that? Right? Recently, in our area, our 4 states area, which is Nebraska, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kansas, we've all been on team Christian Hetty for darn near 2 years, I would say, at least 1.5 years, maybe 18 months. He got diagnosed with cancer, and fighting it for a long time. Put up a heck of a good fight, but ultimately he succumbed to cancer recently, probably 2 weeks ago. Explain that to me. His mother is an amazing person. Faith like I've never seen before. Throughout the whole process, she just said it was the will of God. She trusted in him to do whatever needed to be done, that Christian was going to be a vessel, and he was going to be an example of what a true Christian should be. Wow, I can't imagine being in a position as a parent and having to watch your child waste away systematically day after day after day to this horrible disease, and then to still have unshaken belief and faith in your religion. So, kudos to her, but and maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the reason for childhood cancer, so that you can have people like Ashley Allen, that's Christian's mom, that just shows you what unshaken faith looks like. But I mean, really, like, come on. Do we really need to have a child be taken from this world to set an example of what a Christian should be? I feel like there's better ways that we could do that and, give kids like Christian a full life. It is not fair that he only got 12 years on this earth. Norm Macdonald passed away recently. He got 61 years. I think my dad is 61. 60 or 61. I couldn't imagine losing my dad right now. And so to think about Christian, who's 12 years old, passed away, that's all he got, 12 years. That's, come on. Come on, God. I think that we can come up with some better ways to institute faith among your faithful. I have issues with that. Childhood cancer. Not a fan. Okay, how long have I been talking for? 15 minutes. I'm going to save the other thing that I was going to talk about maybe for next week, because these videos I get to rambling, and I don't want them to be really longer than 10 to 15 minutes. So once again, whatever your beliefs are, whatever your values are, believe that, value that, share that with me in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I respect all viewpoints. This is where I'm at 37 years in. I believe that there's a God. I do. I'll put that out there. I believe that there's a God, that there's a reason for all of this. There's a reason that all of this began, that we're not just here for a short amount of time, that we're not just here for 12 years in Christian's case, or however many years I'm going to be lucky enough to have on this earth, that at some point my body will die, but my spirit will live on, and it will go somewhere else, and it will do something else. I think that's the idealistic in me, like, because I'm a very idealistic kind of person, and just the thought of living, because life it's here and gone within that amount of time, right? The thought of just living that amount of time and then it just being nothingness freaks me out a little bit. And I don't want to believe that. But as far as divine intervention and utilizing religion to push your agendas and biases and stuff like that, and saying that Jesus or Muhammad or God or whoever your deity is the only way into heaven, I just can't get on board with that. I can't. I think that if there is a God, then that being utilizes a variety of different vessels throughout time to try and touch the hearts and minds of people. And those people were Jesus, and those people were Buddha, and so on and so forth. And in order to live a happy, fulfilling, sustained life, I think that one just needs to be honest with themselves, to not worry about anybody else, not to push your beliefs on anybody else. But what's the golden rule? Treat other people like you want to be treated. Be a good person. And I feel like if you strive to be a good person, then good things are going to happen to you, not only in this life, but in whatever else is going to come after this life. So I think with that, I will go ahead and close Ronnie's Reflections number 4. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, I'm glad that I recorded this. I hope that it doesn't make anybody mad. Bye.